Hey, yo, what is going on, guys? dbzmando signing on here, and oh boy, did I just watch the awesome episode of the Book of Boba Fett. It should honestly be called the Book of Mandalorian, but anyway, that's my point. It was fantastic. I will say a lot of the older Star Wars fans will love this episode. Before I get into spoilers, older fans will love this episode. Highly recommend you go watch it. There's a lot that happens. It's fantastic, beautiful. Yeah, there's just a lot that there was so much. It just had me breathtaking and excited, and it was a lot of emotions. It was filled with a lot of emotions. Very emotional episode. But yeah, that's all I want to say for non-spoilers. Go check it out if you haven't, and let's go ahead and get on to the spoilers. So I watched the episode, and oh my god, there was so much. So we started off with, god, everything was so jam-packed that I don't even I can't remember where we started. I believe Mando went to... Yeah, okay, so Mando flew onto a planet. I'm not too sure what planet it was, though. I just know that he was flying in his new Naboo starfighter and flying this grass planet, and then we actually got to see him with R2-D2. R2-D2 was signaling out and found him. And that was pretty cool. We got to see R2. He was looking for Master Skywalker, which I was like, there's no way they're going to show Luke again. And then, so he fell asleep. He sat on the bench after watching these droids start building a temple. So he waited for a little bit after R2 shut off. And he was like, how long am I waiting for? So he waited, then it cut it. Thank God, I thought we were going to have to wait no longer. After that, we get to see training with Luke and Grogu, which was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, the effects on Luke were 100% better than they were last time, and if they keep doing this, honestly, it's gonna look even better. It's gonna look like a pretty awesome show. They did amazing with the effect, with the deepfake and stuff this time. And really knocked it out of the park with this one. Amazing effects. Grogu training with Luke. There was some Grogu not paying attention. Luke showing him the ways. We actually even got to see Luke unlock some of his memories that Grogu didn't have, or either repressed or just couldn't remember. So Luke unlocked those, and we got to see Order 66 of Grogu being there while the clone troopers, the 501st, were taking him on, and that was pretty cool. We haven't seen that since a very long time, and that was crazy. Luke's training Grogu more. There's so many Easter eggs. Luke training with Grogu on his back. He's doing the whole running thing like he did in episode 5, did the whole front flip. That was awesome. Luke talking about Yoda's theme playing in the back. It was very beautiful. I'm sure the very older Star Wars fans were like people who saw Luke when they were kids were probably freaking out and loving it. And I'm all for it too. It was amazing. It was fantastic. I know I was a little emotional here and there, not like but like I'll get into the depths as I kept going farther, but as we get deeper into it. So there was that. Ahsoka then meets... Now this was a little... She meets Din Djarin and says that she already met Luke and that she was a past family friend, which was awesome. But also, it kind of upsetted me in the fact that she saw... It upset me a little bit for the fact that she met with Luke off screen, which that kind of sucked. I kind of wish we got to see that interaction of them meeting for the first time. That would have been cool, but still awesome. Nonetheless, it was still pretty cool. And so he's there to give the Grogu the gift he had, and she's like, "Are you sure you want to give it to him?" Like questioning his morals and stuff. Like, do you want to give it to him? Are you sure you're doing this for him? Is this for him? And he's like. And that she says that if he sees him, it's gonna make it hard. It's gonna make it harder on him. And Mando's just having conflict. He's like, I want to see him, but I don't want to make it harder for him. So he tells Ahsoka to go ahead and give this to Grogu, and that he will be off. And so then he heads out. Grogu is sad that he's left. Luke is like, we have to continue training. Grogu's doing the one-hand stand. Standing on his one leg with some more training, like how Luke did back in episode 5. Grogu is doing flips and stuff. Man's going off, and then that's pretty much it. Then Mando goes to Tatooine to meet Boba and them, and they're all having plans. It's like, by the way, this is like the one time we see Boba Fett. Boba Fett looks around, nods, says they need, did he even speak? I think he did. I think he did speak and said we need muscle. And Boba's like, don't worry, I got this. And then we get to see the Marshal. While this is happening, the Marshal, we actually got to see him again. It was so cool seeing the Marshal. He doesn't have his armor, and he looks like he's getting a little older. But he sees the Pikes, kills them, says, he says, do whatever, but spice will not cross through our territory. He is specifically like, they will not cross here. Otherwise, there's going to be problems. So he leaves, takes a spice container, and kicks it into the sand. He does not care about the spice. At first I was like, is he tempted to sell? But no, he straight up was like, screw this, and kicked it over. Massive respect to the Marshal. Really loving this character. And then Mando meets with him. They talk about how they need reinforcements. Marshal's like, we don't fight anymore, we kind of just keep to ourselves and we're pretty okay with it. And Mando's like, struggling for help, but he's also just like, there's not much they can do. They're square, there's no favors. Marshal's like, listen, I'll see what I can do. Marshal, not gives in, but I guess kind of gives in a little bit, but he says, we're going to have a town meeting and we're going to talk a little bit. But before that even happens, after Mando leaves, there's this whole meeting that they're about to have, and then we see Cad Bane. Cad freaking Bane shows up, and I was like, what? The theories were right. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then so Cad Bane shows up, is like, listen, whatever Boba's paying you, we'll meet it. We'll meet it. All you have to do is just not get involved. That's all you have to do. And there's also like some deputy guy, didn't really care for, because there's a standoff. I will say there was a standoff, and oh my god, was it awesome. It's like really westernized. It's like there's a whole standoff. You got the deputy. That deputy was a little too like hasty. I feel like he did not have it. Like when you see him, he was just not on par with the speed. He felt way too slow. And then there's obviously the Marshal. They're all getting ready. Cad Bane looked a little funky. I think his face was too short. It could have made it longer. He also kind of reminded me of like this like blue little alien dudes. Like it was little alien dudes. He looked so goofy. He just looked so weird. Very looked cartoonish. But it's still pretty good though, not gonna lie, it was still pretty good. So his hat was I'm just nitpicking, this is a tiny little hat, whatever. It's still awesome though. We see him, says you shouldn't have gotten involved. And then then they do the standoff, and Cad Bane shoots both of them. He shoots the Marshal down on his arm. I don't think the Marshal's dead. It looks like he's just straight up shot the Marshal in his shoulder, and he fell down, and then kills the deputy. The deputy's dead. Like, he shot like 7 bullets. It was 3, but into 7 blaster bolts into the deputy. Like, that deputy was dead. He was way too slow. And then Cad Bane leaves after that. It says that they won't get involved, or not to get involved, whatever. He leaves, they tend to the Marshal, and then we cut to the cantina with the Twi'leks. Some Pikes go in, they have a container, they're offered everything, do you want this? They're just offered like services basically. Do you want a drink? They ignore it. Do you want to clean your helmets? They ignore it. They ignored everything. Then they pick up, leave. They left their container. Droid's like, oh, so you left it? Then they realize. Then the bar owner realizes that's not what they left behind. It was a bomb. It blew up the building. And my god, there was so much. And then we cut back to like Luke and Grogu, and I was getting a little frustrated because I wanted to see what was going on, but we kept cutting to Luke and Grogu. Don't get me wrong, I loved seeing them on screen, but the timing could not be worse. I'm just like they should not technically be here on the Boba show. This should be on the Mandalorian show, but it is what it is. And I'm just like, I have mixed emotions because I'm like, it's so cool to see them, but I didn't care right now. Like, stop cutting from Boba and get us back on the planet. I want to see what's going to go down. It was just, it was frustrating, but very awesome, but frustrating. And after that, we then come back to Grogu. Luke tells Grogu, oh yeah, then Luke talks with Ahsoka about the Mandalorian being there. He got the gift. Then Ahsoka says she's going to head out, and she's probably going to look for Ezra with Sabine, I'm guessing? I don't know. But we just know she's leaving, and then Luke's like, okay. And then Luke gives Grogu the lightsaber for Yoda. Luke gives Grogu the options. He shows him the chainmail and says, there's a chainmail that the Mandalorian left you. or Din Djarin. And then here is a Yoda's lightsaber, which is weird because I could have sworn it got incinerated in a comic book when that Emperor's sideman or whatever was burning them all, saying freedom from all the Jedi, but whatever. So, a retcon, I guess. So Yoda has to pick. He can only pick one, though. He either can go with the Mandalorian, or he can be Luke's first Padawan, like first ever student at the new Jedi Academy he's building. So Grogu has to choose, and Luke's like, but however, you do live forever, so a short time for you is a lifetime for us. Because remember, Grogu's like species lives for almost 1,000 years, so they can live for a very long time. So honestly, he's probably gonna pick Mando just because he's got all the time in the world. Not really, but he's got a lot of time. That's what I'm gonna think happens anyway. And then it ends right there. The episode ends with his decision on a cliffhanger. I think he's gonna pick. I honestly think he's gonna probably pick Luke. In all honesty, I'm sorry, Mando. In all honesty, I don't see him. I mean, he could also pick both. That could also be the thing. But really amazing episode, filled with emotions. Oh my God! Next week's episode is gonna be a freaking blast. There's so much. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so hyped. The finale is gonna be great. Yeah, and honestly, Luke's teachings, because he was very conflicted, because they're still on the Jedis are not allowed to have attachments, and that bothers me a little bit, because in Luke's legend story, he allowed attachments. Like, he was like, his order was better than, he did everything that the original Jedi Order didn't do. He allowed attachments. Just don't be afraid to lose them if that comes to be it. You know, you can have attachments, but you have to know what that comes with. You know, just be ready to face that if it does, if it does, that unfortunate event does happen. Just be prepared. Don't let don't let go of your attachments. You can have them. Just be prepared for the worst if anything were to go down. Yeah, Luke's new, honestly, that was also, like, them not getting into politics was also part of his order, which it looks like there's that, maybe? That looks like that's still going to pertain to it. But, no, that's really good. I loved seeing the Marshal again. It was awesome. He looks a little older. That standoff was sick. Me and my buddy were freaking out when we saw Cad Bane's, like, silhouette out in the sand. We were like, no way! My buddy was like, he's dead. I'm like, I don't think he was dead. I mean, I agree with him, though. I thought he was dead, too. Thought he could have died, like, I don't know, just over time. But his species also lives for a very long time. But no, he was still alive. And, God, and his reaction time's fast as ever. He not only injured Cobb Vanth, or the Marshal, he also killed the deputy. His reaction was so fast that he shot the Marshal and killed the deputy and unloaded 7 blaster. It was like 4 blaster bolts into the deputy. It was insane. And I was like, oh my God. And then the bartenders are dead too. So like, Boba's literally has nobody. Like, he literally has no one. And it looks like this is just going to be a full-on brawl. And it says the Syndicate, which is what the Pikes are. I don't know why when I heard the Syndicate, I thought of the Crimson Dawn. But it still could be that. It could still be the Crimson Dawn, in all honesty. But, again, amazing episode. Looking so forward to next week's episode. Oh my God, it's going to be awesome. Yes, but anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. All I want to talk about the review. So much has happened. It's freaking fantastic. It's all happening in Boba Fett, though. Like, we're barely seeing Boba Fett, and that's very upsetting, but also at the same time, like, we're getting cool stuff. But it's a show about Boba Fett. We should be seeing more Boba Fett. What the heck? But nonetheless, really good episode. Freaking fantastic. Loved it. And yeah, that's all I want to talk about, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts were of the episode, if you have seen it already. And let's just continue talking about it, because it is a freaking amazing episode. But anyways, I'll see all you guys in the next video. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to blast a like one. And if you subscribe if you enjoy the content on my channel. And hey, consider hitting that bell notification as well, because I do upload daily. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. dbzmando, signing out.